A UFO in China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew. The incident has captured the attention of Chinese media, and theories about the UFO's identity are burning up on the internet as well. They include everything from a hidden U.S. bomber to an elaborate man-made hoax. For now, the UFO continues to be a mystery. A spokesman from China's Civil Aviation Administration confirmed to ABC News that the matter is under investigation.
Some Chinese residents are on edge this morning after another apparent UFO sighting. It's the second one in 2 weeks. The first sighting was on July 7th, and an airport had to be shut down.
All right, that's a UFO if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, can you identify
it? That's undeniable.
The airport had to be shut down after people apparently saw twinkling lights above the airport terminal. 17 flights had to be diverted. The latest sighting happened just 2 days ago, and people say they saw 4 lantern-like objects forming a diamond shape in the air, hovering in the sky for over an hour. An aviation expert say they don't know what it was. It wasn't a plane.
Scientists from all over the world are trying to figure out what caused a mysterious blue light to spiral in the sky over Norway on Wednesday.
As UFO sightings go, this one was as good or as weird as it gets.
A light appearing high in the Arctic sky, baffling those who saw it and exciting a lot of comment. Early yesterday morning, just before dawn, this appeared in the Norwegian sky. A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole. In the northern community of Trøndelag and on a Norwegian military base,
satellite has identified 2,000 planets orbiting other star systems. So tonight, when you look at the night sky, realize that somebody could be looking back at you. Now, if there is a life form out there, they could be literally millions of years ahead of us. The universe is 13.7 billion years old, so a million years is nothing compared to the age of the universe. And for the most part, I think they're going to be friendly. But if they are hostile, it would be like Bambi meeting Godzilla if we ever had to fight them.
Why? Why do you say that?
Well, realize that if they're that advanced, they can reach the Earth from a distant star. They are already thousands of years ahead of us in technology. And we would present no military challenge to such an advanced civilization. Now realize for the most part, there are lots of uninhabited planets with resources on them. So if they can reach the Earth, they can certainly reach other planets that are uninhabited. So for the most part, I think they're going to leave us alone. But if one of them is hostile, watch out. We would be a pushover for them. Forget all the Hollywood movies.
You also make the point, too, that if aliens ever did invade, it could be an opportunity, a chance for countries, for nations to get together when they see a common enemy.
That's right. When President Ronald Reagan met Mikhail Gorbachev, Gorbachev was shocked out of his mind that Ronald Reagan said to him, you know, if the Martians ever invade the Earth, you and me would be allies in the fight against the Martians. Well, Gorbachev later wrote that he was floored by that comment, but you know something? Ronald Reagan was probably right. If we are ever invaded by the Martians or some advanced civilizations, we would hunker down. We would get together to fight off the Martians.
And finally, you say you think that if we ever approached by extraterrestrials, it would be likely friendly because they would already have resources somewhere else in the universe. Is it likely that we would have common similarities with any of these other beings based on your research and what you know about these other bodies?
Well, for the most part, I think they would leave us alone. If you're walking down a country road and you see an anthill, do you go down to the ants and say, I bring you trinkets, I bring you beads, I give you nuclear energy, or you just leave the ants alone? So I think that if they are that advanced, they're going to be peaceful. They will have had thousands of years to work out their internal problems of racism, fundamentalism, sectarianism. So I think for the most part, they will have had thousands of years to work out their internal differences. So I think they probably will be friendly, but we have to prepare for the possibility.
I don't make the drawings.
You never know what surprise you might find when you open a drawer in this Manhattan studio. Artist Bud Hopkins is the keeper of some images that will expand, blow, or maybe even close your mind. There's a photo album devoted to odd, mysterious scars.
Almost like a hole punch.
Yeah, it's what it looks like, a biopsy.
Boy, if these walls could talk. There are stacks of drawings of little aliens called grays. You know, big head, tiny mouth, almond eyes. These aren't Bud's work. They come from his rather unusual assortment of friends.
Is that the same person?
No.
Different.
Different people.
Wow.
Now, the important thing about this is all of these are really old. This is before this face was on every T-shirt.
Bud has become the father confessor for hundreds of people who are convinced they have been abducted by aliens.
I mean, it sounds totally off the wall, and I'm the first one to say almost everything that we're discussing here sounds off the wall, but that doesn't mean it's not true.
Ladies and gentlemen, tray table up, seatbelts buckled. This will be a wild ride.
Do you have any idea how common these encounters are?
Well, my guess is that they're very common simply because I just keep running into so many cases.
In 1964, Bud saw a UFO, and then in '76 wrote an article in New York's Village Voice about an alleged alien encounter in New Jersey. His phone hasn't stopped ringing since.
The massive evidence gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and that's not a pleasant thought, to me. Mind you, I'm looking into something that I don't really like and that I don't really want to hear about. But I'm working with people who have suffered.
It's a little bit confusing to me.
People like Mark, who believes he's been abducted several times in his life. He came to Bud to fill in the blanks, the missing time, which happens to be the title of Bud's first book. He uses hypnosis. Here's a tape of his first session with Mark.
There's something small and white, but it's glowing. It's glowing so brightly that I can't even make out the figure. And I'm really scared. And then it starts to climb up on the bed of reach for me.
So, what do you think it was?
Well, I've spent many years trying to guess, trying to logically, rationally explain it, and I can't think of anything other than an encounter with beings of some sort that aren't human.
Do you have any idea what they wanted?
No.
Did you get a sense that they were threatening you?
It's very clinical. They don't have really empathy or sympathy. It's often like us going into the wild and tranking a lion or a wild beast, tagging it, looking it over, and then letting it go. We don't really have a true connection to this animal. Mm-hmm. We don't really care about it. We're just examining it, and that's what I get from this. There's no malice involved.
Believe it or not, it gets weirder. Or as Mark put it,
this is going to push this whole thing into Wackyville.
Okay, let's go to Wackyville.
All right.
See how we do there.
Okay.
In Wackyville, the Greys take Mark to an exam room in their spacecraft and hand him a fetus.
Do you have any idea what they wanted when they gave you the fetus?
No, but that's part of my original thought process, is that eventually those hybrids, as we call them, are going to populate the planet. It's a pretty frightening picture, but if you look at it logically, it makes all the sense in the world.
Hybrids? Hey, Bud, you there?
That's kind of off the wall.
The whole thing is off the wall.
Miles O'Brien, CNN, New York.
Libur di Jakarta ini mengaku melihat pesawat jenis piring terbang melayang di sekitar Tugu Monas. Pengakuan ini diperkuat dengan hasil foto Erik berlatar belakang Monas. Dari foto telepon genggam ini tampak pada sisi kiri Erik, piring terbang mengudara melayang di langit Jakarta. Percaya tak percaya, mereka menduga benda itu adalah Unidentified Flying Object alias UFO. Selama ini, UFO memang dipahami sebagai pesawat makhluk dari luar angkasa atau dunia lain.
Terbang gitu ya.
Warga mengaku belum pernah melihat fenomena seperti ini sebelumnya. Kendati begitu, warga mengaku tidak mempunyai firasat apa-apa. Warga justru bersyukur melihat fenomena ciptaan Tuhan ini. Gumpalan awan itu sempat beberapa kali mengalami perubahan. Akan tetapi beberapa menit kemudian, awan itu kembali membentuk sebuah piring terbang.